Well, I've got to say, I never expected this. I never expected this. I expected Assange to either just be locked in prison forever for the rest of his life or mysteriously die in a hanging incident, haha, but he get released. But apparently it was a plea deal, and let's look into it. I genuinely like this. It's been going on for that long that this doesn't feel real. This doesn't feel real at all. But anyway, I have always wanted to do this. Have you been in an accident that wasn't your fault? Well, you could be entitled to compensation. Serious injuries could be worth millions, but getting such a payout from lowballing insurance companies is often a tough process, involving loads of time, stress, paperwork, and appointments. I know how hard it can be to work with lawyers on a big case. The constant back and forth feels like it consumes your entire life as you're pulled in about 50 directions all at once and forced to jump through endless hoops. Well, Morgan and Morgan. So nice, they named it twice. Make the whole process much easier by allowing you to submit a claim and keep in touch with your legal team from your smartphone. And Morgan and Morgan can provide quite a team because as America's largest injury law firm, they have resources for days, employing over 1,000 attorneys across all 50 US states. Yes, even that one. So, don't assign just a lawyer to each case, but a crack team of investigators, paralegals, in addition to having over 4,000 support staff ready around the clock to answer any questions or concerns that you may have. And even further peace of mind comes from the fact that Morgan & Morgan's clients have absolutely nothing to lose, because unless they win, the fee is completely free. And with over $20 billion won to date, you can be sure that they will fight to get you the best result possible. And it is quick and easy to get started because all you have to do is answer a few questions and Morgan & Morgan will get back to you with a free case evaluation. So, if you've been seriously injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan by clicking the link down in the description down below or going to forthepeople.com/Count Dankula or by scanning the QR code on the screen to start a claim. WikiLeaks founder Assange welcomed home in Australia a free man after US deal. And there he is there arriving in the airport. Jesus Christ. I can't believe it. He's got a bit of a limp on him as well, doesn't he? The man's been through it, though. US judge releases Assange with a sentence of time served. Release ends 14-year legal battle over major breach of US classified documents. Family lawmakers gather in Canberra to welcome Assange home. I'm very, very surprised that he flew back home to one of the Five Eyes countries. I don't think that was smart. I don't think that was a good idea, but hey-ho. Canberra, June 26. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange landed to an ecstatic welcome in Australia on Wednesday after pleading guilty to violating US espionage law in a deal that sets him free from a 14-year legal battle. And what was it he done? What did he do? Or remember that little video where the guy says, "Did we just kill a kid?" Remember that one? Yeah, that was what the American government was terrified of Julian Assange releasing. Yeah, they drone struck children. And it's like, and the US government didn't like him telling people about that. I wonder why. Assange disembarked from a private jet at Canberra Airport just after 7:30 p.m, waving to waiting media and cheering supporters before passionately kissing his wife Stella and lifting her off the ground because, I mean, the man's not had his Nat King Cole in about fucking 14 years, so who could blame him? But well done her for sticking by him. He embraced his father before entering the terminal building with his legal team. Assange has not spoken publicly since being released and did not. I mean, I think the man's earned a little bit of R&R. Like, if I'm being perfectly honest. See the fact he's went in there and he's like, I don't want to fucking talk to anyone. I don't blame him in the slightest. Of course he doesn't. And did not appear at a WikiLeaks press conference at a hotel in Canberra, where Stella Assange said it was too soon to say what her husband would do next. I mean, I'd let him get out and get his fucking head clear and get his head straight, man. He's had a bit of a whirlwind few weeks, you know. Like, see, even if he doesn't come back on the scene for another year, that's fine. Just leave him. Just leave him to fucking recuperate. Julian needs time to recover. no shit, to get used to freedom, she said. I want Julian to have that space to rediscover that freedom. She added she believed her husband would one day be pardoned. Australia Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, who has lobbied for years to free Assange, said he had spoken to him by phone after his plane landed. I had a very warm discussion with him this evening. He was very generous in his praise of the Australian government's efforts, Albanese told an earlier press conference. The Australian government stands up for Australian citizens. That's what we do. Assange's arrival ends a saga in which he spent more than 5 years in a British high-security jail and 7 years in asylum at the Ecuadorian embassy in London, battling extradition to Sweden on sexual assault allegations, and to the US, where he faced 18 criminal charges. One little fun fact, by the way, when he was actually in, I forget the name of the prison, but it was a big, serious, like, old London prison. It's got a notorious name, so I feel bad for forgetting it. He was kept in the same hall as Tommy Robinson. Assange was on the upper floor and Tommy was on the bottom floor, and they were shouting out the door and talking to each other. So basically, Julian Assange and Tommy Robinson were like chatting while they were in the prison. So there you go. Those charges stemmed from WikiLeaks' release in 2010 of hundreds of thousands of classified US military documents on Washington's wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, one of the largest breaches of secret information in US history. I like it when that happens to governments. I like to see what they're up to, and I do think, since they are the ones in charge of us and controlling very, very many parts of our lives, I think it's very much within our public interest to know if they are being complete shitbags and drone striking children behind the scenes. I think it's pertinent for us to know that. I mean, I don't like the fact that I'm forced to pay taxes that are then being used to bomb kids. I don't like that. I imagine that none of you like that either. I don't think anyone would like that. At least I fucking hope you don't, right? But so I think it's very important that we know that. But that's when the American government went, no, absolutely not. Stop this man right now. And there was even a CIA plot to kill him. So they really, really wanted to shut him up for what he did. I think it's important for us to know that. During a 3-hour hearing held earlier in the US territory of Saipan, Assange pleaded guilty to one criminal count of conspiring to obtain and disclose classified national defense documents, but said he had believed the US Constitution's First Amendment, which protects free speech, shielded his activities. Now, I will say, I love the US Constitution. I would love if we had something similar over here. However, when it becomes the government's job to enforce it, those pesky human rights that are always in the way of all the things that are the horrible things that the government wants to do, then yeah. When it's the government's job to enforce the rules that protect you from the government, it's not going to work out. I used to sing the praises of that all the time. Oh, the Constitution. Now, I will say the Constitution is a beautiful document. A beautiful document. However, when it's up to the government itself to enforce it, you know, it doesn't work out the way you hope it would. Working as a journalist, I encouraged my source to provide information that was said to be classified in order to publish that information, he told the court. I believe the First Amendment protected that activity, but I accept that it was a violation of the espionage statute. Chief US District Judge Ramona V. Manglona, the hell that name is, accepted his guilty plea, noting that the US government indicated there was no personal victim from Assange's actions. The only victim was the US government, which was bombing children. She wished Assange, who turns 53 on July the 3rd, an early happy birthday as she released him due to time already served in a British jail. Hailed as a hero, while the US government viewed Assange as reckless for putting its agents at risk of harm by publishing their names, his supporters hailed him as a hero for promoting free speech and exposing war crimes. Again, which I think is very, very pertinent for all of us to know. Oh, the people that rule us are evil? Thanks for the heads up, right? I think, again, it's important for us to know that. We firmly believe that Mr. Assange never should have been charged under the Espionage Act and engaged in an exercise that journalists engage in every day. His US lawyer Barry Pollock told reporters outside the court. He said WikiLeaks work would continue, and considering there was already a CIA plot to kill him, that's making me very, very nervous. Like, good, I want the WikiLeaks stuff to continue. I like governments being held to account. I like that because there's nobody fucking else that can fucking do it. However, Assange is in a Five Eyes country. It's very important to note that. So whoever has him over there in Australia, keep him very strictly under lock and key. Vet everyone that gets near him. I'm just saying. Test his food, like all that stuff, right? But anyway, Assange's British and Australian lawyer Jennifer Robinson thanked the Australian government for securing Assange's release. His father, John Shipton, told Reuters he was relieved. That Julian can come home to Australia and see his family regularly and do the ordinary things of life is a treasure, Shipton said in Canberra, where he was waiting for his son. The beauty of the ordinary is the essence of life. Assange had agreed to plead guilty to a single criminal count, according to filings in the US District Court for the Northern Mariana Islands. The US territory in the Western Pacific was chosen due to his opposition to travelling to the mainland US. Yeah, they were. If he went over and he was officially on US soil, they would have went, nah, we're grabbing him. There he is. 90-year sentence. Oh, he mysteriously died in his cell. Oh, what happened? Like, yeah, of course he didn't want to go over there, and he was smart to not go over there. And for its proximity to Australia, prosecutors said. Politicians in Australia who had campaigned for his release raised concern about the guilty plea on US soil, saying he was a journalist who had been convicted for doing his job, which is exactly what it was. That is a really alarming precedent. It is the sort of thing we'd expect in an authoritarian or totalitarian country. Newsflash, pal, said Andrew Wilkie, an independent lawmaker who led a paramilitary group. I was at their paramilitary group, man, but parliamentary group advocating for Assange. Assange spent more than 5 years in what Judge Manglona called one of Britain's harshest prisons. I forget the name of the fucking prison, and 7 years holed up in the Ecuadorian embassy in London as he fought extradition. While stuck at the embassy, he had 2 sons with Stella, who had been one of his lawyers. They married in 2022 at Belmarsh. It was Belmarsh Prison, at Belmarsh Prison in London. And that's the end of the article there. I think it's great that he's released. It's fantastic that he's finally out. Right, it's wonderful. However, because of who he is and what he's done, if he wants to continue WikiLeaks and keep doing all of that stuff, fantastic. Please keep that up. I love horrible governments being held to account. However, keep him secret. Keep him safe.